Growing pressure finally saw President Joe Biden make the call not to seek re-election. This decision comes only weeks before the Democratic National Convention and just months before what many have called a pivotal election.
Vice President Harris won't be able to accept any official nomination until late in the Democratic National Convention, coming up in about 4 weeks.
Well, Tennessee has become the first state of delegates to unanimously back Vice President Kamala Harris for the White House. School Board District 7, Freda Player of Nashville, and Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell and Representative Harold Love are all Tennessee Democratic delegates. Reports show the decision was unanimous. No other name was even mentioned as a possibility. The vice president is gaining a lot of support among the Democratic Party, but there's still a process for her to become certified as the official candidate.
Let's go to Grayson Gordon here in the studio with more. Grayson, what's the prediction right now?
David, Cindy, it seems like Kamala Harris will be certified as that Democratic candidate, and it is in the best interest of the party to get this settled as quickly as possible, according to a local assistant political science professor. Vice President Kamala Harris made her first appearance as a presidential candidate Monday, praising President Joe Biden for his work in office.
In one term, he has already surpassed the legacy of most presidents who have served 2 terms in office.
We spoke with voters at the early voting polls to see how they feel about Biden deciding to not seek re-election.
I think it was hard for him to do, but I think for the United States and especially for the Democratic Party, it was a real important, critical thing for him to do.
The vice president needs to be voted in by the delegates of the Democratic National Convention, happening in roughly a month.
That would be a really straightforward path for the Democrats to kind of sort all of this out.
Now, all delegates that pledged Joe Biden are now unpledged. The quickest way forward is for the delegates to pledge who Biden endorsed, which is Harris.
It would have been a more complicated story had Harris not immediately been the obvious pick.
Although, if the delegates choose to not vote for Harris and there wasn't a majority in the first vote in the convention, then the at-large delegates would vote. There are roughly 750 at-large delegates chosen by the party.
I mean, it's still very early. This only happened yesterday, so who knows? But my guess is that no one will challenge her.
Dr. Heiss believes it is in the Democratic Party's best interest to quickly endorse Kamala Harris.
Democrats at this point want to be shifting their focus completely to the general election. They want the focus to be on Trump. They want the focus to be on what to do at the general election. They don't want all of this in-party fighting.
Division inside the party could negatively impact their campaign.
It's probably in the Republicans' best interest for this to be as messy as possible. They probably want a lot of infighting. They want challengers. They want an open convention. They want people not supporting or thinking the process is undemocratic.
The Democratic National Convention begins August 19th. Now we play a waiting game to see the Democratic strategy moving forward ahead of that November election. Back to you guys.